guys, and welcome to Duck TV Sports. I'm your host, Cassidy Washta.
I'm Matt Scotton.
And I'm Anthony Piganelli.
Tonight, we'll be discussing both the men's and women's basketball seasons with some highlights and lowlights from this term. But first, men's basketball finished second place in the Pac-12 and are headed to test their luck on the Strip in sunny Las Vegas before heading to the NCAA tournament. We now take it to Andrew Murray, who hit the streets of Eugene to ask people how well they think the Ducks will do in the tournament.
The University of Oregon men's basketball team has won 9 out of their last 10 games and is now slated to be in their third straight NCAA tournament appearance. According to ESPN Joe Lunardi's bracketology, the Ducks are slated to be the 9th seed in the Midwestern portion of the bracket. With the postseason in sights, we asked the students to see how far they think the Ducks will go in the tournament.
I mean, it depends on who they're playing. If they're going to be a 9, then whoever the 1 is. If they get like Villanova, I think they could beat Villanova.
I feel like Oregon will finish number 1, honestly.
I don't think we're going to go very far because we haven't done very well so far, and I don't think that we can really pull it together and make it through the NCAA tournament.
And if I were to tell you, though, that in the round of 32, they're slated to face the number 1 undefeated Kentucky Wildcats, what do you say then?
We better play our best game ever then.
The Ducks will get a tune-up in the Pac-12 tournament as they will play their first game on Thursday. From here on out, all bets are off in the world of college basketball. I'm Andrew Murray. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Andrew. For our final episode, we like to have a little fun and blow off some steam. It's time to play our hashtag game. For those of you who don't know, these two buttes have to come up with a hashtag and argue their case. Are you guys ready?
Oh yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
So let's describe the men's basketball season in one hashtag.
All right, obviously I'm the prettier of the two of us. I got this first. Them young bucks don't understand this game's about one thing, hashtag getting buckets. Start the season off, Joe Young had to literally make every single shot, it seemed like, and nobody else could really hit. Then after a little while, now he can get double teamed, kick it out to somebody else, and they can knock it down. We saw this in the UCLA game. It seemed like nobody could miss. After that game, they went on to win 10 of their last 12 en route to the NCAA tournament.
Matt, you're right. There's no question that Joe Young is the leader of this team. But again, basketball is a team game. And I'm going to go with Dana Altman's mantra, hashtag bend your knees. Whenever this team bends their knees and they're in the right, correct stance, not only on defense to get stops, but also on offense when they space the floor and they're ready to catch and shoot, they have been so successful this season.
And I have to give this one to Anthony. I agree. Hashtag bend your knees describes the season perfectly. Now, what are your hashtags for the Ducks' chances in the NCAA tournament?
All right, I got a winner for you right here. Hashtag Joey Buckets. They spread the ball around, like I said. You talk about team basketball, but he is still the undisputed leader of this team. Being a senior in his last year here, they're going to go as far as he can carry them. They're going to play a lot of tough teams in the NCAA tournament. Pac-12, not a powerhouse for basketball, and so they're going to need to lead on their senior leader to go very far in the NCAA tournament.
Again, I'm going to go with another team-oriented hashtag. Hashtag move the ball. On offense, whenever this team moves the ball, they space the court. They really are at their best. Sure, Joseph Young, the offense is going to run through him most of the time, but when he gets his teammates involved and he swings the ball a couple of times, they break down the defense starts to get tired, and then shooters are spotting up in the right positions. Their percentages are way higher, they're knocking down more shots, and they're closing out games strong because they swing the ball and they have way more success when they do that.
Sorry, Anthony, but clearly Matt won this round. Joe Young, he leads the team, so hashtag Joey Buckets, it's perfect. Now, let's take a quick look behind the scenes here at Duck TV Sports.
It's always a difficult process choosing our anchors each week. We here at Duck TV Sports have an interesting process in selecting those very anchors. It might be getting a little out of hand.
So now that you guys have passed the combine, it's time for the question and analysis portion of the show. No worries, there are wrong answers. So who is more vital to their team, Jillian Aline or Joe Young?
I'm going to go ahead and start this one off and say it is without a doubt Joseph Young. He is the unquestioned leader of this team. If you talk to the team, the rest of his team and the coaching staff, they'll tell you that he is the leader at practice, during games, in the huddle, on timeouts, and he sets a tone offensively and defensively. Not to mention, without Joseph Young on this team, they wouldn't even be close to in contention for the tournament as they are right now. He had a couple back-to-back game winners against Washington and Arizona State, and he's had numerous 20-point games that have really, really helped his team out in close games.
All right. You talked about back-to-back stats. Jillian Aileen is only the 4th player in NCAA history to have back-to-back seasons with over 450 rebounds. She's the leader of this team as well. You talk about leadership. There's way more talent around Jo Young than there is around Jillian Aileen. She gets double and triple team game in, game out, and still pulls in those double-doubles. She's averaging 18.4 rebounds a game right now, and those rebounds are so critical to this team. They miss a lot of shots. They got to get them back and have second chance points.
Well, those are impressive stats, Matt. Let's go ahead and talk about the intangibles, too. This team is so much better when Joseph Young is on the court. He gets his teammates involved, and especially when the offense is struggling, he can create his own shot. He gets double-teamed, too, and he can either split the double team or still make shots over them or pass the ball to a teammate who really can then find their shot. He gets his teammates involved, and he gets his team involved when the game is really close.
More talent around him.
Still, who's getting the postseason right now? The men or the women's team?
More talent.
So I'm going to have to agree with Matt on this one. I know that Jo Young leads his team, but Jillian Aileen is going to be returning next season, whereas Jo Young will be looking to continue his basketball career in the NBA.
Fair enough.
Now this season has been action-packed with plenty of memorable moments. Hey Deuce, what were the top 5 highlights from this season?
Thanks, Cassidy. We begin the top 5 highlights with one from this past basketball season. Guard Casey Benson passes the ball to Jo Young, and despite having 2 UCLA Bruins in his face, he still drains it. There are more highlights from this game to come. The women also found success against UCLA this year at Matt Night as well. Lexi Pearson passes it to Jillian Aileen, and she hits the game winner against the Bruins to defeat them 67-65, kickstarting a 3-game winning streak. Back to the men's game. Dwayne Benjamin makes the most out of a miss, and he throws it down behind his head. If this were the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, this would be a perfect score of 50. Speaking of dunks, in the same game, Jo Young passes it to Jordan Bell, where he puts the UCLA defender on a poster. Bell resumes at Matt Night. Now, finally, number 1 play, Dylan Brooks throws down the hammer of Thor on 2 Utah players. The Ducks upset the then 9th-ranked Utah Utes 69-58, and this one helped vaulted the Ducks past the bubble talks and solidified their spot in the NCAA tournament. Now, after the highlights, we at Duck TV Sports, as hard as it may seem, have some lowlights. Here's what happens when we keep the camera rolling for just a little bit too long.
The Ducks look to keep up the hot start tomorrow here at... Fuck me.
Oh, wait, I gotta send that to a soundbite.
I'm up there.
I'm Mitch Rames.
And I'm Taylor Foster. Cheers, Udine. We just messed that up.
Yeah, can we redo that close? I totally.
More recognition around campus, and I forgot the last thing. For Alex Altman, my hair sucks today.
Really run tires electric fast. Hello? Do we have to evacuate the building?
Do you know what the head coach's name is?
White.
Does he have a first name?
No.
Or I'm guessing.
Oh, are you gonna stay the night?
I went totally backwards on that.
Austin Graybeck had a night for himself playing the corner. Oh, I need a drink.
I really thought that last one was deleted, if I'm being completely honest.
I'll forget yours. Altman has talent. He should really try out for American Idol with that voice.
I agree. Ending on that note, we would like to say thank you to our whole crew who put in so much work during this winter sports season. For the latest updates on everything Duck Sports, check out our website. For Anthony Piganelli and Matt Scotton, I'm Cassidy Washta. We'll see you in the spring, Eugene.